Alright, welcome back guys to the Questions with Connie channel. I'm Connie, and today I'm going to talk about the movie Annabelle Comes Home. So I watched this on Friday. I am, as you can see, a very avid horror movie fan, and I like to watch all the movies usually when they come out. Some of them, if they're questionable, I'll wait till Redbox, but for the most part I like to make sure and get them and as soon as they come out, so that way no one spoils it for me, or things like that. So for this movie, it is the 7th one in the franchise. I've watched all of them, own pretty much most of them, I think all of them actually. I think my favorite so far with the Annabelle movies, or the Conjuring altogether, is the first Conjuring movie. And I really loved Annabelle Creation. I thought that movie was creepy AF, because for one, that whole scarecrow thing was super horrifying. Also the doll things, dolls pretty much freak me out, period, anyway, especially the porcelain ones. But I just really like horror movies in general. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a fan of Halloween and horror in general, so let's just get into it. So my main question, or the main thing I think about whenever I'm thinking about whether or not a movie's worth watching or not, is it worth watching in theaters, or should I just wait for Redbox? Is it really that strong a scary movie, or was it really not that scary? So let's first talk about the pros, and then I'll go into the cons. So the pros about the movie are, it is definitely creepy. There are a lot of really good jump scares, which I really like, just because if I'm going to a scary movie, I really want to be scared. And if I'm going for, as far as like drama or that type of thing, then I'm looking for depth or storyline. For scary movies, really all I care about is it creepy, is it scary, is it going to make me, be like, oh, I want to turn off the lights, that type of situation, then I want to watch it. So for me, this movie definitely was creepy, interesting, scary, kept me interested, so I liked it for that reason. The main character, Lorraine and Ed Warren's daughter, the actress doing the job, which I'll input her name in here somewhere, she did a really good job as far as her performance during the movie. I thought she did really well at carrying it. The other characters were pretty good as well, but because of the fact that there is a character intended to annoy you with doing all the worst things possible, you can't really say you like their performance. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but I just didn't really care for that character because of all the stupid things they do. But I know that that's just a given in scary movies. So anyhow, the movie is straight to the point, so it doesn't build too much, which I like. I don't like to wait for something to happen. This movie does deliver pretty much punch after punch. As far as the scary stuff goes, you don't have to wait for that. You pretty much as soon as it gets into it, it does talk about Ed Lorraine Warren, it does get into Annabelle, it does just touch on all those little scary things, and things do pop out and creep you out. But as far as the cons go, now just fair warning, if you don't want to have any kind of spoiler whatsoever for the movie, you can just stop watching here. I do recommend seeing it in theaters, because I think that it's a fun experience, and if you like scary movies, this is definitely one you will enjoy. But yeah, if you don't want any kind of spoilers, then go ahead and stop watching here. But if you're okay with a little bit of spoilers, I'm not going to spoil the plot at all. But there's just this one thing that I didn't like about the movie, and if you see it, then you'll probably either agree or have some of your own thoughts about it. So there's a werewolf in the movie. For me, I didn't care for that, because I'm like, well, where the hell did a werewolf come from? And what does that have anything to do? Well, technically it's a hellhound, but it's a werewolf. So I don't get how that ties into anything else. I mean, I know that Ed and Lorraine Warren are about all the supernatural, demonic, and spiritual and all of that, but I don't remember them ever mentioning anything about, like witches. Well, they just kind of mention witches, I guess, in that one movie about, The Conjuring, where they talk about Bathsheba, but I don't remember them ever mentioning werewolves or anything else kind of like that. And to me, the way that they actually show or executed the werewolf in the movie is a little more on the goosebump side. And for me, that was just kind of I was sitting there like, like, what is that? Didn't scare me. So that's the one con that I have about the movie. Some other reviews that I've seen of this movie are talking about how it has zero plot and all this other stuff, which my thoughts on that are, it's a horror movie. And I mean, for me, the best plot or storyline I've seen so far with horror has been The Haunting of Hill House. That series on Netflix was amazing. The performances were out of this world, and it had a very complex, detailed, storyline and dynamic with the whole family, and each of their strengths and talents and weaknesses, etc. But it was really, really good, and the performances were really strong, and the storyline was really detailed. So I get how if you're expecting that sort of plot from most scary movies, then of course you're going to be disappointed if you go to see this movie, because it's not that kind of movie. This movie is more of you're a fan of the franchise already, and you just want to be scared. And to me, that's all you really need when it comes to scary movies. You don't really necessarily need Oscar-winning performances, or for it to be this huge, massive, detailed thing, or for you to give me a super long backstory on all these characters, when really their only intention is to be the archetypal character, like the babysitter. You're not really going to spend a whole lot of time getting to know the character because they're the babysitter. So I don't think you need a lot of character depth for that. And as far as Ed and Lorraine Warren and their daughter, their whole storyline has been going on throughout the franchise. So I think part of why there's no, huge buildup to that or storyline for that is because they assume you're watching this movie because you're already a fan of the franchise. So you're already familiar with the characters. So I think, all that being said, this movie accomplished what you wanted to. It scares you. It creeps you out. There's, whispering and other weird random things that will get under your skin and kind of make you afraid to, go into an empty, dark room at night. And that's kind of what I look for when it comes to a scary movie. So if that's what you're looking for, I definitely recommend seeing it in theaters and not really waiting for Redbox, because to me, it's a whole different experience from seeing something in theaters and hearing it at full volume and seeing all the details than it is seeing it at home. However, me and my husband have our own theater at home, so for us, it's kind of okay to watch things at home because we do still get that theater experience at home. But for people who don't, and who, just are like, I don't know if I want to see it in theaters or go to Redbox later, I would suggest, if you do want to see a scary movie and you're a fan of the franchise, go see it. Support the franchise, because they want to, we want to make sure that the people who make these type of movies keep making them if you like them. So I say that it's worth seeing. If you're not really that big a fan of scary movies, or you haven't watched any of the other movies, then it's worth seeing. But you could also wait till Redbox. I mean, it is what it is. But all in all, I think if you're a scary movie fan, then definitely it's a movie I would recommend. So if you have your opinion on the movie and you want to put it down in the comments, please do. If you have any movie suggestions that you think maybe, I might have not seen, that you think are good, or any that you want me to do a review on that are coming out, which I do plan on seeing Crawl. That is coming out, I believe it's July 12th. I do plan on seeing that. It's kind of a combination between hurricane disaster and this big crocodile thing, in the water, which I think is a cool and interesting dynamic, combining those two things, because I love disaster movies. And so anyway, I will be posting a review on that one, but definitely, if you haven't subscribed, please do, and leave some comments below. If you have any suggestions, comments, anything like that, definitely let me know. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching.